Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Ace Attorney Chronicles. Last episode, we started up on our first trial, and we're trying to get ourselves out of the situation. So far, we're gonna have to... the symbol of Yume University. Every student wears this pin with pride. It's funny, most emblems seem to be either round or rectangular. I like the spike design, even though it doesn't really make any sense. Although, it does cause problems. Lots of students end up cutting their fingers on their badges. Perhaps it was the idea of one of the founders, a sharp pin for a sharp mind or something. Personal student numbers engraved on the back here. If you lose your pin, they won't accept you as a Yume student at the university. You may not come in, they say. Of course, you can get a new pin if you can just tell them your number. I actually lost mine twice already, but I still don't know my student number by heart. I always say to myself, I mustn't forget to write it down somewhere, but then I forget not to forget that. Alright, I think that's it. Alright. Let's examine more shit. Nope. What about this? Well, that's unexpected. What is? Look, do you see what it says the witness's name here? Satoru Hosonaga. Well, yes, business cards do tend to show the person's name. That's sort of the point. It's not the name that's expected, it's his job title. His job? Oh. Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. Inspector? What on earth? I have no idea. But let's face it, the police have a lot of power and influence. They're wielding it somehow here. Where's his business card? On the front it stated Hosonaga-san is a police inspector. This plan at the restaurant raises a number of questions, I think. Definitely. It's supposed to show the relative position of everything in the moments following the incident. But there's nothing to show the woman you saw there. Exactly. That's not all. Look here in the upper left, it says kitchen. Oh yes, what of it? No one will use these complicated characters to write kitchen, especially if they were in a hurry. You mean you don't remember those characters yourself, do you? Study harder, Ryunosuke. What about this? I think that's it for now. The court will appear to opinion on the defense on this new puzzle. I assume you're ready, counsel. Counsel? Oh, that means me, doesn't it? Alright. The answer to this question is going to be pivotal. This is the start of you turning this trial around. Show them what you're made of. Got it. Oh, the person eating the steak at the victim's table must have been... a victim himself, nah. Me! The two witnesses as a yet unknown third party. Obviously, it could have been someone sitting at the professor's table. You will not let this go, would you? There's no such person. There was, but because I saw her. When the incident occurred, we know that the victim could have been eating anything. We have yet evidence of a half-eaten steak on his table. Therefore, the only logical conclusion is that there was somebody else there eating it. You have strong evidence to support our assertion. It's clear that these witness testimonies are unreliable. The court decides to push through a ruling at this stage. We will enlarge a formal complete with the Ministry of justice and pursue a fair retrial relentlessly. Kazuma?
Are you insane? You would like to take on the government?
Don't worry, Counsel. I have no issue with you.
What do you mean?
I have issue with them. The two witnesses understand. What? What are you talking about? We have demonstrated with evidence that the victim was not alone. So if now it turns out the two of you deliberately lied when giving your testimonies, obviously you will be charged with perjury. Perjury? Perjury? And since this is a murder trial, you will also be deemed complicit in the killing. Complicit in murder? No. Hold it. Negative! There was no mention of this at the tactical meeting. I was just following orders. That's right, as the man says. Just you never saw the gentlewoman. That's what the told her. Well, we got a problem. Oh. What? What did you just say, Korakudo-san? Oh, no. You were just following orders? Well, now hold on, lad. I was, say you never saw the gentlewoman. When you say gentlewoman, do you mean you saw the victim with a lady from overseas? What?
What is the meaning of all this? Those witnesses gave false statements? Is this true, you pair? I'm gonna get in so much trouble if you give me false statements.
Just one simple slip of the tongue. Well, we got a problem here. Order, counsel! Explain what is going on here. It's painfully clear now. You try to prevent these witnesses from telling the truth.
Absolutely not. The prosecution knows nothing of this.
Then who's behind this? Try to make you keep your mouth shut. Well, that's classified. So you're prepared to be tried as a conspirator to this murder, are you? You wouldn't. This can't be happening. You know, Skay. Judging from the way they're reacting to this, I'd say they were sworn to silence by someone with considerable influence. However, I don't believe Auchi had any idea about it. What are you saying? I mean, to wield that kind of influence, there are only a handful of possibilities. It could only have been the government, military, or the police, I suppose. Well, any ideas who might be behind this? If we can affirm who tried to silence these witnesses, then we can continue our pursuit. So we need to name whoever it was that tried to make the witnesses keep their mouths shut. Of course, we need evidence before we make any firm accusations. Evidence that proves who really did wield his or her power here. But how? How can we possibly... Remember how we made progress before? We examined this piece of evidence in more detail as found new clue as a result. Oh yes, that's right. Well, that's not the only piece of evidence we have, is it? We need to re-examine everything, just to make sure there's nothing we missed. There's no time to lose. I want answers! If it's proven that these witnesses have been manipulated, I assure you the penalty will be severe.
Please, wait! Your Excellency! I had no idea about any of this. I swear to every Shinto god, I knew nothing.
And what does the defense have to say about all this, well, Your Excellency. No time to think. I'm just gonna have to close my eyes and shout out the first name that comes to my head. Besides the prosecution, the only person with necessary influence to manipulate the witnesses are... Yeah, we saw the card. It has to be him. Yeah, he's a police investigator. Well, surely that would be Satoru Hosonaga-san. Hosonaga-san, the waiter who took the stand earlier?
Poppycock! What possible reason would the waiter have to make these witnesses give false testimony? Not to mention the fact that even a head waiter cannot possibly have that level of influence.
For once, I would agree with you. If that is, the man truly were a waiter.
What? If he truly were?
Come on, Ryunosuke. Time to hit this court with the truth. Truth about Satoru Hosanaga's son's real identity is proven by this evidence. Business card. The plan of the restaurant sketched by the man in question? I agree, it shows a great deal of attention to detail, but I'm not sure we could conclude anything. Sorry, Excellency, that's the back of the card. It's the back of the card that's of interest. You know, it's called the front of the card, Ryunosuke, but fuck it, just call it the back of the card. I beg your pardon? Or perhaps I said from the front? Yes, it's the front of the back of the card. That's where the telling detail is. Would somebody please explain what this oversighted student is trying to say? Hosanaga's son's sketch of the plan of the restaurant on the reverse side of this business card. The front of the business card reveals that the man in question's profession, his true profession. The waiter's profession, but that's surely... Good gracious! That's right, Your Excellency. The card reads, Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau.
What? The waiter is a police detective? I haven't heard any mention of this before. Why haven't I heard any mention of this before?
The Police Police Bureau has immense power, absolute power as far as regular civilians are concerned. So, witnesses there on the stand. Was it in fact the waiter who gave you your orders? Was he told you not to mention you seen this foreign gentlewoman at the scene? Well... Hosanaga? Inspector Hosanaga? I was worried something like this might happen. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch as evidence, I realized it was a possibility. The court will take this plan and inquire into the court record as evidence. Well, is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course. Here you are. Yes, I remember now. He did act strangely when the judge asked him to hand over his business card. I strive to carry out all investigations flawlessly. It's my guiding principle. I let myself be distracted when I made that sketch. It was an unusual, careless mistake.
So, you mean to say you really are a detective?
But why would a detective be working as a restaurant waiter? Ah, of course, your salary must be terrible. I was working undercover. Undercover? Yes. There have been a series of incidents at the restaurant recently. In order to investigate, I decided to get a job there as a waiter, working undercover. Incidents at the restaurant? What kind of incidents? That would be classified police information, which I am not at liberty to divulge. However, I can state categorically they are unrelated to this case of homicide. Very well then, Inspector Hosanaga, but you won't elaborate on one point for the court. Of course, Your Excellency. You have just heard this new information from the two witnesses beside you. At the time of the shooting, there was in fact another person present at the victim's table. If that is indeed true, clearly you would have been aware of this person's presence, having served the table in question. However, your testimony did not allude to this other diner, therefore I led to assume you're in your professional capacity as a police officer to require these witnesses to be in agreement. Would that be correct? Yep. Correct, Your Excellency. Unbelievable. As I suspected. What more does he have to hide? Bang. Soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran out of the kitchen to see what had happened. Victim sat slumped in his chair, and beside him, gun in hand, stood the accused student. Sitting opposite the victim at the same time was a young lady, whom I guessed to be an Englishwoman. So the truth comes out. I immediately sealed off the restaurant and reported the incident to the bureau. It was then that I received some special orders. Special orders, you mean to say? Remove the Englishwoman from the scene at once. Oh, that's not good. It was made clear that the Englishwoman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed. Those were my orders. But what if this Englishwoman was the killer? I think it would be everyone's best interest not to pursue that idea. The Empire reviews friendly terms of relationship with Britain more highly than anything at the moment. Englishman has been murdered in our saw to name an Englishwoman as the primary suspect. Well, without irrefutable evidence, that'd be completely out of the question. So that's the reason that the disappearance of the Phantom Woman in this case. But it's not right. Why is everyone quiet all of a sudden? Okay. One possibility does spring to mind. What do you mean, Kazuma? Yuma University is currently hosting a number of exchange students from Great Britain. I'm fairly certain that one of them is studying the medical faculty's research laboratory. As a young Englishwoman. What? You're a shrewd man. I could see why you're a chosen candidate for the overseas study tour. You mean... I removed the woman from the scene of the crime. I thought it'd be prudent to check her identity first. When the court demands that you name the lady in question at once, Inspector. The Englishwoman sitting at the university professor's table is a certain Miss Giselle Brett. She is indeed a foreign student studying the research laboratory of Yume's University Medical Faculty.
What? What is happening here?
I am met under orders from the police bureau. I erased all evidence from this lady's presence at the scene, and ordered these witnesses to make no mention of her in their testimonies. I must now be up to your excellency to decide how to deal with the situation. Well, we think we know where we're going with this. Very well, my thoughts on the matter is as follows. Thus far, the case presented to the court has been underpinned by a particular critical premise, namely the victim that was dining alone. However, we have now discovered that this premise is false. It would be a desecration of our justice system to ignore the truth and give it a ruling at this point.
But, Your Excellency, that would mean dismissing the noon deadline for ruling in order to send a telegraphic report to Great Britain. Our own government will surely be displeased by such actions.
Calm yourself, Counsel. I will not allow the government of our country or any other influence the proceedings of my courtroom.
Yeah.
Inspector Hosonaga. Yes, sir. You will locate this Giselle Brett and escort her to the courtroom with utmost urgency. At once, Your Excellency.
But that means you're going against the special orders you were given from the police bureau.
Well, as I said before, it is my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly. So it won't be a problem? Stop coughing. You're gonna get me infected too. Nothing will get in my way. Court will now adjourn briefly. The prosecution must call the English student Giselle Brett to the witness stand. Do I make myself clear?
Yes! Your Excellency!
Good. Now we will have this 30-minute recess before reconvening. Guess we're gonna do our first recess? Okay. I'm guessing that's where I should have ended off on, but whatever, it's fine. Looks like we're gonna save right now. I could have done this in episode 1, but whatever. Alright, let's continue. Supreme Court, 11:38 a.m. Alright. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. That was superb. Yeah. My heart was in the mouth the entire time. It was almost unbelievable. I mean, looking you in there. You were drenched in sweat, your eyes popping, your knees knocking, and you were grinding your teeth. It was a grim sight, but before I knew it, you started finding inconsistencies in the testimonies. I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer. Forget it, it's terrifying. If I get through this, I don't ever want to see the inside of a courtroom again. Ha 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 ha. Anyway, it looks like we've exposed your phantom lady at last. Mr. Zale Brett, a student from the Great Britain, is she? That's why she's trying to tell everyone from the start. Dr. Wilson was alone. There was a young woman with him, like I've been saying all along. Yes, you have, haven't you? I might not be overly confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are one thing I'm sure of. Yes, I can see that. So, how about this young gentlewoman? Thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems. You see what happened with that? No, I didn't see any of that. I was just on my way out of the restaurant myself, then, on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table, I noticed there was a gun lying on the floor, and just after I bent down and picked it up, bang. I didn't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot had come from. The waiter ran out over to me, looking as white as a sheet. He bundled me in sort of small pantry next to the kitchen. Fast thinking by the detective, he apprehended the suspect without a moment's delay. Yes, because I was shut in the pantry. I had no idea what happened outside in the dining area. Oh, there you are. Well done, both of you. Professor Mikotoba. Well, seems I was right. The pair of you make an outstanding team. You've exceeded my expectations, I have to say. I don't know if I gave him the right voice, but fuck it. Yes, it seems planned from the start. You arranged things so I wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer in this trial. Our modern country is still in infancy. Our justice system even more. Which is why I firmly believe that we need to send our brightest young stars overseas to learn as all they can. I wanted to avoid a situation that may have resulted in your study toward a Great Britain being cancelled. Well, makes no difference. Lawyer or otherwise, if I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend avert the worst crisis of his life, I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyway. Pepe Hens? What? What are you saying, Kazuma? But overseas? So that's your stance. I was afraid you feel that way. Kazuma? Well then, it looks like it all comes down to you, young man. To me? Yes, you need to prove your innocence. Uncover what really took place in that restaurant. I must say, I very much want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case. Come to think of it, he said the same thing earlier this morning, didn't he? If you don't mind me asking, Professor, do you know the victim? Yes, I did. As you're probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at UMA. It was who I invited him. Oh, I see. I didn't know that before. Anyway, you're about to go into battle. The victim was a university professor at Great Britain, a well-known one at that. Naturally, our government's looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible. Let's not forget who we're up against. The gentlewoman whose involvement our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide. Yes, I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash your case. I have no doubt you pair will put up a good fight right to the last. Best of luck. Thank you. Now then. I need you to run an errand at the university at once. There's something I think we may need. Of course. Good luck, Kazuma-sama. Defendant Naruhodo! Court recess is over. Please make your way to the back inside the courtroom at once. It's time. Let's get back to it, partner. Let's go in there and deal a decisive blow. Before these old fossils know what hit them. Kazuma? What? Thank you, really. What for? Well, if you hadn't said you believed me, then I'm fairly sure I'd already be found guilty by now. Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer, and as a friend. Coming from you, that means a lot. If I'm found guilty in this trial, he's going to really give up on his dream of studying abroad. That's the kind of true friend he is. So this is isn't just my battle anymore. Whoever we're up against, we absolutely cannot afford to lose, and it's the first case after all. Alright then. I'll save the thank yous for after the trial. You can't treat me to one of these sukiyaki meals I like from the Yume cafeteria on University Street. With an extra large portion, of course. Alright, let's continue the court. Alright. The court hereby resumes the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Prosecutor Alchi, have you managed to subpoena the witness?
Yes, Your Excellency, against all odds. And thanks to a certain young stripling, the prosecution is now under rather painful scrutiny from the government.
Sorry. Let the government scrutinize. That's their job. It's nothing to worry about.
It's highly unlikely that good relations we forged with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed. You still think it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down our nation founders?
Again, terribly sorry. The friendship between our nations is really so fragile. Then the treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on. You really have nothing to worry about, Ryunosuke.
What do you mean?
A secret trial, anxiety over some foreign government's opinions, a bug-out investigation, missing witnesses. Isn't that what our nation's justice system is? Is this the Supreme Court of Japan or of England?
Shut up, you jump rock up rookie boy. You and your friend know nothing the situation our nation finds itself in. By aligning ourselves with this great world power, we'll become strong. Diplomacy has never been more critical. Steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures.
I won't deny it. I'm not an expert. I'm just a student. And one who could arguably study harder too. But standing here now in our Supreme Court, there is one thing I feel very strongly. A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country with no future at all. He is right, though. Well said, Ryunosuke, despite the wide-eyed look of terror.
You little brats!
Thank you, Counsel. This court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system and it exists solely for the pursuance of truth. With that in mind, this trial will resume with the next witness taking the stand. A visiting student from the Great Britain, Miss Giselle Brett.
Yes? Your Excellency!
Well, hello. That is a fine Englishwoman.
What a delight it is welcome to such fine gentlewomen to Japan, and from such a distant land.
Tea! Someone bring English tea! In England, no discussions take place without tea. Oh Christ, we got two simps here in this courtroom. Is that true? No idea.
So, ahem. Can we possibly trouble you here and state your name and occupation for the court?
Of course. My name is Satoru Hosen, and not you, you idiot. Oh, whatever. I've been working undercover as a head waiter at La Carnival.
Yes, we all know about you already.
Inspector Hosenaga, where are your manners? In England, it's always ladies first. Is that true? No idea. More importantly, a little earlier today you said something to me. You said that your powers of observation are one thing you're sure of. Oh yes, I think I did, didn't I? Yet your description for this amazing sight was simply a woman. Sorry, Inosuke, but powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking. Guilty.
So dear lady, once again we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please.
She's speaking unknown language I'd never seen before. Fuck. We can't understand her. I don't understand what you're saying.
I'm terribly sorry, dear lady, but what?
Oh no, he also speaks it too. English, Gaijin language. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Gaijin language. It just scribbles. The lady says her name is Giselle Brett. She comes from London, England. She's a visiting research student currently enrolled in Ume's University Medical Faculty.
Oh my, what a rare treat to hear dulcet tones of the delightful language of the British people. Afraid I don't understand a word you said, but it was as beautiful as Hummingbird's song.
Simping. As far as I can tell. The detective is translating her words faithfully enough. Yes, I agree. You obviously do fine in England, Kazuma. Her English doesn't rattle you at all, does it? Nor you. You've been clearly paying attention in your English classes, Ryunosuke. Cora, thanks, a beautiful lady, for taking a stand. And now if we may trouble you to confirm something, Miss Brett. 3 days ago at a restaurant called La Carnival, a grim murder took place. The court has been led to believe you were dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is that correct? Oh boy. I feel like Hosenaga could lie in his testimony. If the following is true. She says yes. This could take some time. So even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese. Well, this is one huge legal problem, of course. She'd like to apologize for disappearing from the scene. She says that she was due to make a presentation at the university, so she had to leave immediately. Interesting. When you're the one who engineered her escape. I was just following special orders from the Bureau.
Well now, dear lady, will you be so kind to cast your eyes over this photographic print? Seeing as you were fortunate present at the scene of the crime, could it be that your resplendent eyes caught sight of the wicked perpetrator, perhaps?
Oh, let's hope we can get a lot of information out of this. Apparently it was a very frightening and sorrowful sight. Do you mean to say? Yes, it would appear that the lady did witness the crime. The very moment that occurs standing right there in this courtroom. Shot the victim in cold blood. Well, this is bad. We got ourselves a witness. Order in the court.
Did you hear that, Your Excellency? Here we have an absolutely conclusive witness statement.
Well, looks like it's clear now. Clearly who our real enemy is. Fortunately, I won't ask you to formally testify if you please. Kindly tell the court the exact nature of this frightening, sorrowful sight you described. Well, we're gonna get ourselves a cross-examination, of course. Witness testimony. Frightening and sorrowful sight. I had arranged for me to slight late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered myself only a beef steak. After a while, the curse came over to greet the professor and they got into a fierce argument. Then not long after, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. What? Fierce argument? I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit. Well, this is a condemning testimony indeed. No, I didn't have any kind of argument with the professor at all.
Quiet, you filthy wretch. Look at you, you black-hearted blackguard, and look at the snow-white angel. I'm sure you've been a dark-minded scoundrel like you can believe and imagine those words the court is going to believe.
You're still making the same mistakes, Ryunosuke. You mustn't blurt out when you're goaded like that. That's a lesson you need to learn. But he's so annoying. Of course, I was at the scene as well. Took some statements from this lady and the two witnesses who testified before and reported back to the bureau. It was decided that Miss Brett was not involved, so I let her go. The testimonies of those last two witnesses were completely worthless, however. Well, even so, on the day in question, the lady was wearing the same outfit as she is today. As you can see, there's nowhere her person could she conceal a firearm. I wouldn't think she would hide a gun almost anywhere in that outfit if she wanted to.
Unless until the precise location where the witness hidden a weapon can be shown, this is moot.
There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. Those are witnesses' own words on the matter. It's ridiculous. Only I was allowed to lift up her dress, I could prove it. Don't think about doing anything rash, Ryunosuke. But I didn't fire the gun I picked up. There must have been another gun there that day. You're right about that, which means this lady was in hiding a gun somewhere. Yes, that's what we have to prove now. And to do so, we will need to pull her testimony apart. Press everything. Yeah, she's smugging. Let's wait now, cross-examine the witness. Oh, yes, Your Excellency. Alright, let's do this. After 2 p.m. in fact. That's really quite late lunch, isn't it?
You don't keep up with the latest fashions from Britain, do you? Late lunches are in vogue, isn't that right?
No. Oh, she spoke. A decisive no. Decisive English no has a sting to it. The gentlewoman was currently working in the victim's research laboratory, it seems. So it was apparently a daily occurrence that they would lunch together. On the day in question, the victim had another appointment in the clinic first. Yes, which we can prove from the medical report card that was submitted as evidence earlier. That's right. Miss Brett and the victim went to lunch following the victim's treatment, which is why it was so late. Yes, that all makes perfect sense.
That's wonderful logic! What a shining example of English intelligence this fine gentlewoman is!
So you both arrived at the restaurant. What happened next? Yep, beef steak. He was unable to eat, you say. And that was because he had just had a tooth removed at Holder Clinic, correct? That's right. You're supposed to actually check with the witness before answering. Well, Was Miss Brett ever aware of the fact? Seems so, yes. She heard that the professor was to have some dental treatment. So that would mean it was you who ate the steak pictured here, is that right, Miss Brett? That's right, yes. The print you had there shows that the table exactly was left after the horrifying events. Exactly as it was left?
Dear me, what a harrowing experience! I have traveled to distant land on the far side of the world and enrolled in such tragic accident. Have no fear, my dearly, as for I will crush the evil fiend that subjected you to this terrible plight.
So the victim, Dr. Wilson, had nothing to eat or drink at all. That's right, other than some carbonated water. Carbonated water? Just water? Yes, the professor was unable to eat, but he had been given permission to drink water. It appears that the diners toasted their lunch with a glass of water each. They each raised a glass of carbonated water? What do you think, Ryunosuke, about the witness's last statement? It's very meaningful. That last statement of yours, Miss Brett, has a profound bearing on this case.
Well, well, how fascinating. Do tell us, what is this profound bearing,
The significance of the statement will become apparent when the time is right. The defense calls for the witness's last statement to be formally added to the testimony.
Well, sidestep, counsel.
Very well, Miss Brett. Kindly repeat what you just said to be added to your official testimony. Gladly, she said. That was brilliant, Cosmo. I'm going to remember that one. Which one? The significance will become apparent when the time is right. I could really use that phrase. I'd hope there are some more useful tips you're picking up from this experience than that, Ryunosuke. Ordered a beefsteak for myself, and the professor and I said cheers over a glass of carbonated water. Okay. So both you and the professor drank this carbonated water, did you? Yes. Being the waiter, I poured the 2 glasses myself. I clearly remember doing so. Except you're actually a detective. And the beefsteak. And that was for you, Miss Brett. Brett? Ladies, she heard said if it was not customary to eat beef here until Japan opened its doors to the world. Yes, that's true. What a frightful place is the lady's opinion. And I've heard it's not customary to eat sashimi in Great Britain, so now that's frightful. Every country has its own cuisine. As long as people have food to eat, what does it matter what it is? True, come to think of it. The first time I tried carbonated water, it was much of more of a shock than the first time I tried beef. Anyway, back to this witness's statement. Somehow I feel like there's something out of place in what she's saying. We need to pounce on even the slightest thing now, because you never know what might lead us to our goal. Our goal of turning this trial around. Understood, Cosma. Fierce argument. I never got into an argument with the professor. All I did was I noticed him and let's go over to say hello. Please don't get angry with me. No, I wasn't directing a retort at you. I was meant for the lady next to you. Anyway, as I said, I did not argue with the professor. I'm afraid your words are in vain. Sorry? Miss Fred does not appear to speak Japanese.
No, of course not. Japanese is a cumbersome language anyway. English is the future. We must all supiku
Ingarishu. What the fuck is he trying to say? What if the prosecution will feel that way forever, or only in the presence of a beautiful woman? Well, that beautiful woman is telling blatant lies with a completely straight face. Find something that will unravel her testimony, no matter how seemingly insignificant it may be. Anyway, it seems that after the argument, the accused briefly returned to his own seat. That part lies with what you said, doesn't it? Yes, I still had some coffee to drink. And the next time you got up after that. was when I finished my coffee and I stood up to leave. Then, okay. Like I said, I did not shoot that gun. And like I said, there's no repeating the assertion over and over. Well, I wasn't expecting to be attacked by my own side.
Nevertheless, defendant, you can't deny that when the shot rang out of the restaurant, you had a gun in your hand.
Well, yes, that's true, but all I did was pick up the gun I saw on the floor next to the professor. I was leaving the restaurant. In fact, yes, there was someone much closer to the victim than me at that time, the highly suspicious lady in the stand.
That will do, you dirty, rotten scoundrel!
Dirty?
Your baseless accusation could very well cause an international incident, boy!
Seems to me that your accusation is just as baseless as ours.
Heh heh heh, what nonsense!
The lady's merely stating what she saw. And this is already an international incident as far as I'm concerned anyway. You don't carry a gun. It's all very well saying that, but can you prove it? Absolutely, I verified it personally. You verified it? Yes, immediately after the incident, I checked to make sure the lady was not carrying a weapon. I distinctly remember her saying, "I'm not." That's all you did? You just asked her? You carried a physical search, Inspector. No. Why on earth not?
The Honorable Englishwoman, gentleman clearly stated she doesn't possess a weapon. There's obviously no need for further probing into the matter.
Or if there was no permission to give it any further probing into the matter, perhaps.
Think what you will, but if you're going to continue with this preposterous claim that refined lady was concealing a firearm, caution demands you support your assertion with facts.
In other words, he wants evidence. Lady wishes to point out that of course she wanted to stay and assist with the investigation, but she was in a hurry to give a presentation at the university, so she was compelled to leave. Not to mention the fact that your officer had to get the woman out of there. Not get her out of there. I just urged her to leave. The lady would like to point this out that she in no way meant to run away from the scene of the crime. That's why she is too happy to cooperate and testify here in court today, of course.
Unlike a certain suit who refuses to admit when the game is up. You can at least have the courtesy to pay attention when I'm goading at you.
So she's maintaining that you got an argument with the professor at which end of which you shot him, which is an out and out totally unfounded lie. Still, her statement sounds very compelling. After all, she's an elegant, refined, young, and beautiful gentlewoman from Great Britain. In stark contrast to you, dressed from head to toe in a dull black school uniform. I'm just exactly the same way you are, except for the flapping red ribbons. Well, anyway, this is our only chance to expose her testimony as a fiction that it is. If we can't do that, the trial's over. Even if you wear your thick skin must be able to feel the murderous looks you're getting from around the room. Only too well, I feel half dead already, and the fact that I can't see a single inconsistency in her testimony doesn't make me feel any better either. First thing to do is press her in any of the statement that seems slightly off to you. Do you do that, and an opening will present itself, I promise you. You expose the true face of the exotic foreigner that's behind the mask. That's what you should be aiming for in this cross-examination. I think it has to be this one. Cheered glasses. Wait, this is a contradiction. Why is there only one glass? I guess the magnifying... Yes, we'll have make use of this magnifying glass. I'm gonna present this. That's it! Let me just confirm something, please. It's to do with this photographic print. Just a short while ago, you spoke of the print showing the victim's table at the crime scene. That is exactly as it was left? That is correct. The lady says. Well, it's odd, very odd.
Dear me, what's odd is the defense's inability to express itself.
Ryunosuke, what is it? What is about the print that looks so odd to you? Well, it's the cheers.
The cheers?
Miss Brett just told us she and the professor said cheers over a glass of water. But if that's true, there should be at least 2 glasses at the table, not 1. Oh! You're quite right, Consa. There's only 1 glass pictured here.
Are we supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking over a miniature, eh? What possible difference does this presence of absence make on the glass make on the case?
Minute, you say? Could it be that the detective removed the glass from the table to conceal the lady's presence? Of course not. Never do something so reckless. But there should have been 2 glasses on the table. Are you going to try and tell me you can clink with only 1? You're quite right. I certainly took 2 glasses to the table. She's hiding it, does she? Inspector, what does the lady say? It would seem that Miss Brett, who took the glass from the table... What? It was all so terrifying, everything that happened. Panicked and thought I should try to hide the fact that I'd been there at all, she's saying. Good gracious! Sorry. Oh, this is a problem. At least you speak.
There, as I assured the court before, this is no consequence at all.
Oh, please.
You must remember that the student had just murdered this lady's luncheon companion before her very eyes. Who could blame her for concealing a glass in her two in her disarray?
That's absurd.
Oh, really? So we take it that you're going to accuse this vulnerable young beautiful woman of mischief?
Damn. Damn simp. What? No. This can't be put down to mischief. I'd like to know exactly how the lady took the glass from the scene. It would seem that she slipped a small handbag she was carrying. A handbag, you say? Yes, Your Excellency, a small handheld pouch commonly will to women in England.
So the beautiful lady has graciously explained why she removed the glass from the scene now. However, the fact remains that this glass absolutely has no bearing on the case. Soon has already been trying to confuse the court with logical reasoning, but in the end it comes to nothing. No more pretensions, accusation, and wasting enough time already.
Indeed, the lady has offered a satisfying explanation why she removed this glass. I think henceforth we consider the matter have no bearing on the case. Counsel for the defense, are you in agreement? Well, I don't know really. If you want to pursue this matter further, you're gonna have to show that some deeper significance. Yes, you're right. So she took the glass away in her handbag. If there's deeper significance there, it's... the glass? You asked me, it's the fact that she took the glass has a deeper significance here. Why do you think that? Because it's the property of the restaurant. It's not some harmless act of pilfering, like taking a bar of soap home from the public baths, is it? You take soap from the public baths. What? No? I mean, that's is it significant here? I never did such a thing. It's very significant, but it isn't the time or place. There are more important things to concentrate now. I think you maybe should reconsider your position too. Sorry. I will. Indeed, the lady offers a satisfying explanation why she removed this glass. Henceforth, can manage more bearing on the case. Counts for the agreement. Oh. Handbag? Wait, the lady put the glass in her handbag, you say?
Yes, do you try to keep up? It's already been explained to the court that it's unusual in carrying handbags for small items.
Let's see. A little while ago, Miss Brett stated the following. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. But what she forgot to mention was her handbag. In which should be perfectly possible to conceal a gun. You're right. Well done, partner. I had a feeling you'd pick up on that too.
What are you insinuating, you vile blackguard?
It's really very simple. The gunshot that was heard when the defendant picked up the gun was from the restaurant floor. So he didn't fire that gun. We can deduce that there must have been another firearm at the scene. The true murder weapon, if you will.
You can't be seriously suggesting?
Inspector Hosonaga. Yes. Did you or did you not search Ms. Brett's handbag on the day of the murder? No, sir. I did not. As I thought. In other words, another gun, the one that was actually used to kill the professor, could have been hidden in Miss Brett's handbag.
No!
Order!
What is the meaning of this, Inspector?
The meaning of what, Prosecutor Alchi?
Why on earth did you not have the lady open her handbag to show you the contents at the time? It's your bungling comment, and now she has to endure these uncomfortable accusations.
Brilliant work, partner. Now we have a chance to expose the real woman behind the mask. You think so, Kazuma? Oh God, no! He has COVID. No! Well, what a sorry situation. Clearly you have no faith in the police. What? As I said, I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting, simply because it was unnecessary. Unnecessary in what way? I ought to thank the student lawyer, really. I have a piece of evidence here that I had completely forgotten about. What? This photographic print. This is the handbag? This print is the photograph that I thought would be prudent to take immediately after the shooting. As you can see, it clearly shows Miss Brett's handbag. With the glass. Oh, I never! See right through the... You could see right through what's inside. A seeable bag? That's right. Apparently, meshwork bags are like these are the heights of fashion in London at the moment. So the contents are clearly visible. Exactly. So there was no need to search the lady's handbag. If there had been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious. As you can see, there's nothing to imply Miss Brett's guilt here. Thank you for helping to prove that, Naruto-san. My life points, no! Order! Inspector Hosonaga, you submit that print of evidence at once. Certainly, Your Excellency. Photograph of the handbag has been entered in the courtroom. I think we had long enough to cross-examine the witness counsel. Let me check this evidence. What's this? Like, what's this on the right side of his hand? That's what I want to figure out. Okay. Alright. I think that's from the steak plate, isn't it? The court has now been shown considerable evidence. As the photographic print has been submitted into the court record, it appears to have no further significance. I'm satisfied there are no longer any room for doubt in this matter if I must make my ruling.
Indeed, there's only one logical conclusion. The pathetic rookie slumped over to bench us for us an only possible perpetrator of this crime.
No, just when I thought I was beginning to turn things around, I'm in a worse situation than I was at the start. Cosma? Sorry, Inosuke. Now that the cross-examination of the witness is over, there's no force to force the crowd to continue. What? You mean this is it?
I must say you put up quite a fight for a rookie student, but the weak are meat and while the strong eat. You're wasting your time. There's no way to defeat true justice. In fact, you can true to your heart's content inside of your own cell.
This can't be happening. I'm really going to be found guilty of a crime that I didn't commit? And Kazuma, his dream of going to study in Great Building will slip through his fingers. Kazuma, what? Is there really no chance of now turning this trial around? You heard the judge. There's nothing about this last photograph that the detective produced that we can contest, which means there's no basis which we can argue the trial to continue. Very well, I will now proceed immediately to the ruling.
Seems we'll be able to report that the greatest government on time after all.
That smug little. Inosuke Naruhodo, having considered all the evidence placed before me, I find you. Wait, Your Excellency. Inosuke. I don't think you can rule this on this case yet.
This amateurs is getting tedious. His Excellency deems that the trial's over. He gives his ruling. It's the most basic protocol of the courtroom.
Your Excellency, just a moment ago you said this. As the photographic print just minute edit appears to have no further significance. Therefore, no longer any room for doubt on this matter. I must make my ruling. Now, that means if there was a problem with the evidence, some significant detail I mean, then ruling on the case at this time be out of the question.
This is blatant straw clutching. Look at this photographic print. Oh, it's just the handbag the gentleman was carrying the day in question. There can be no problem with this evidence.
Better know what you're doing, Inosuke. I understand your objection, counsel. Certainly, this new evidence submitted by the detective has not undergone the court scrutiny. However, I fail to see how we can glean any new information from this handbag.
My thoughts exactly. Really, the prosecution's becoming tired of this rookie's desperate wheezes.
Yes, I am desperate, but this isn't a wheeze. There's something about this photograph which just doesn't seem right. If only I could put my finger on it. Very well. I'll grant the defense one final opportunity. Alright, guys. I'm gonna save right now, so next time on Grace East Attorney Chronicles, we're gonna be going further into the part 2 of this trial, as we're gonna show the significance of this picture. I guess I'll see you guys all next time.